Hello everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm sitting here in my bedroom inside today, even though I was supposed to go out and do things, and I'm sitting here indoors rather than doing errands and grocery shopping because I had a panic attack. And the problem is that when it happens, it's not always particularly obvious. It's not an outward meltdown most of the time. It's hard to tell from the outside that it's happening. I would tend to just sort of shut down and just be silently screaming and freaking out, and the problem is that it's as simple as not wanting to go out in public and be seen out of fear of being looked at, which is a strange thing for me because I know that I can be a bit of an attention seeker and I could quite happily, be loud and noisy and dress up in costumes and all of that, only to be too frightened to go to the supermarket on other days. And it is genuinely frightening, the thought of going outside on some days, and especially if I have to be reliant on myself. Much easier to go out if there are other people with me. Going out to meet a friend is lovely, and I will sit in the car beforehand and talk myself into it and psych myself up to leave the car and not just turn around and drive home again. But knowing that there is another person that I'm going to meet or people means that I can physically do it. When I have to go in and do something on my own, or I mean, shopping is actually one of the hardest ones, and I'm not entirely sure why, but it is. And so my response to that is often to shut myself away, and just wait till I calm down. But the problem is that quite often, we have methods of calming down, and quite often it is to have a cup of tea and, in my case, read poetry or a favourite book, do simple things like that, and it makes me feel very inadequate as a person to have such intense fear of things that should be so simple. And quite often it is the build-up of fear of the unknown and things I can't control. I'm quite happy to go on an adventure and get lost in a city, spend a day out just exploring things or wandering around an art gallery, but then something as simple as not being sure whether the self-serve checkout will work properly, or whether I will have to talk to somebody, or whether I won't be able to find what I need, or simply, I don't know, queuing. That causes a lot of fear and anxiety. And so I do those simple things to cheer myself up, or at least take myself out of it. And I was reading, I like Tennyson. It's one of the many poets I like, and I realised that a while ago I'd written a poem in response to one of his. He has this beautiful, beautiful poem called All Things Will Die. I can't match that, obviously. But I had written a poem in response to this poem on a particular occasion, and I found that this morning and reread that, and it actually made me feel so much better, which was strange. And so I thought I'd share it because, well, why not? There is, huge anxiety in making a video and posting it as well, but at the same time there is a level of separation in speaking to a camera, in putting it out into the void, knowing that really it's only going to be watched by my friends and that they will be supportive. So here we go. I thought I'd share it with you. I do like sharing things I've created, whether it's written or artistic. So here we go. All things will die. Why? Dear friend, why must it be so? Why must your thought turn from this May morn beauty to death and decay? And why must all things die? You speak of the soft bells that are the river's joyous music, yet you do so with grieving. The pull of the south wind engaging the clouds to dance is a sight to warm the heart with its majesty, and yet you mourn. Like Cassandra, you prophesy the death of rebirth, for you are sure before you start that the world will not heed you, O harbinger of death. For all things must die, you say. Oh, vanity. Life waits at the door, see, beckoning you out into sunshine, but you would lie in the darkness building your tomb of beautiful words. You refuse to hear the merrymakers. You say that they are fled. Dear friend, if you would but open your eyes and see the dance in which we partake, you would surely join us. Speak you with melancholy of the death of leaves, of limbs, of wind, of eyes, but old leaves die so that new may show. Old men die and young boys grow. Though the eye may fade and the wind may flee, a breeze may still be felt to tickle the cheek to youthful ripeness. I write with longing, old friend, to speak these words to you, but in vain. Your corpse is already returned to dust, and yet, dear friend, while skin and flesh and bone may die, through all things will die, you live. Obviously, I'd written it in a mood where I was, joyously impassioned about life. But it reminded me, myself, that it's important to focus on the beauty of the outside world, which was something I very much needed today. I'm still not going out today. It's important after having a bout of anxiety that I look after myself and am gentle on myself for a while, because your body becomes very you get an adrenaline rush, and then there's the come down after that, and so it can be tiring. But I'd forgotten that I'd written that, and I was quite, delighted to see it again. And I thought I'd share because, well, why not? Once again, I have spoken for a ridiculously long time. But there you have it. So I'm off to possibly listen to music, play some music, and then maybe painting, reading stories with children. The simple things, the good things. And then shopping will have to wait until tomorrow. But there we have it. Alright, I'll see you all later, I'm sure. Thank you for watching, as always. Bye.